All right, my friends, we are just trying to figure this out. I apologize for the delay. We've had some technical difficulties tonight. I'm just waiting for Sarah to hop on here with me, and we'll get started. Hey, Jenna, thanks for hopping on. I apologize for the confusion. Hey, Jesse, thanks for hopping on. That's what I was trying to do, comma. I'm live now in the Facebook group and in the event. Technology. There we go. Now we got Sarah. Okay, so now we're getting ready. I apologize guys for all of this confusion. We are just figuring this out, so we're going ahead and adding Sarah. Okay. There we go.
I'm here. I'm so sorry. I don't know
what's
going on.
It's not your fault. It's technology. We haven't done this before, so doing it this way rather than doing it through Zoom. So this way we can actually see the comments as they're coming through and talk to people live, which is going to make it so much easier.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
So
sorry.
I'm glad it all worked out. Thank you all.
Yes. Thank you for your patience.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So as you are hopping on, please remember to comment Team Live if you're watching this live. Please comment Team Replay if you are watching this replay. We are going to bring you this training tonight on finding your motivation and your why to help you start off the new year right. Now we're getting close to 2022. I mean, I've been booking calls for 2022. I have people that I talked to them. I'm like, all right, we'll talk to you in 2022, you know, whatever it is. And it's like, oh my goodness. So I don't know how, I'm sure you've been doing the same thing, Sarah.
Oh my God. I just can't believe 2021 flew by. It flew by, and every year it just goes by even faster. I think, honestly, Christmas is Saturday. What? What? How? I can't believe it, but I'm just excited to be home.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I was talking to somebody else. They're like, it doesn't feel like Christmas. I was like, maybe it's because we don't have any snow. It could be that. That's probably why it doesn't feel like Christmas. But
yeah, I agree with that. Being in DC, it's just a different vibe than compared to being home in Syracuse. When I'm home, I think it might hit me a little more. But I'm just in a new weird area.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly.
It hasn't been snowing by you.
Not yet, at least. I like the dry ground though, so we're gonna keep it this way.
Knock on wood. Yep.
So, all right, well, let's dive into it. Our topic tonight. We're talking about finding your why and your motivation. So we're going to start with the first thing. It's about going across like what your why is versus goals. Now, a why is what is going to keep you going when time gets tough. So when you say like what your why is, why did you start? Why are you in this in the first place? Why are you working towards your goals? What is your why? Now, we were reading through all of the submissions last week with the scholarship, and there was a lot of really strong whys. I'm sure you can speak to that, Sarah.
Oh, I can definitely speak to that. There were so many whys, and it was inspiring to hear, but there's so many things. Like, everyone has a different motivation, a different why. What's why for one person is not the same why for another person. So it's really hard to like pinpoint which why was winning the scholarship, because they're all so good and such important whys. So everyone just has a different motivation, which is good. It's good that we're all going for something different.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to remember too, when we are getting started on our weight loss journey, our health journey, whatever that we're doing, our why is going to be different to somebody else. The reason why you're doing this, the reason why you're setting out, the reason why you're starting, that's what matters more. For me, it's I want to be healthy. You know, that's why I work out. I want to be healthy. I want to live. My grandmother is 94 years old right now. I want to live till I'm 94. I want to be able to be at home and do all those things and be healthy for my family. My dad has type 1 diabetes. I want to make sure that I'm healthy and I don't get type 1 diabetes. Now we know it's something you can't catch, but I can still, you know, be in control of what I'm having and what I'm doing. I want to be there to help take care of my parents when I'm older, which makes sense why I want to stay and be healthy now.
Exactly. No, I completely agree with you. I have many of the same whys as you in that aspect. And when my why is when I like get old enough to be my parents' age, and then I can still do the stuff with my kids when I'm at an older age, that just staying healthy, staying active, and not losing my motivation. Just got to keep my why up now as to why I'm staying active and still cooking, because once I stop, then I know I'm just going to get in that downward spiral for myself. That's just how I work. So
right, exactly. And we have to remember too that the why is what's going to like help you get up in the morning and continue on. It's going to help you to stay consistent. It's going to help you to keep showing up for you. Whereas if your why was something that's weaker, where it's just like, well, I want to lose weight, that's why I'm starting this. Well, that's not going to help you with the motivation. That's not going to help you when times are tough. That's not going to spark that, revitalize that spark that's in you when you're having a hard time. We have to say, this is the reason why this matters. It's almost like why you started, but why does it matter? Why does it matter? And it's so much more beyond a number or how we're feeling or anything like that. A lot of the times it's our just longevity. And fortunately, we all know that our nutrition is so closely tied to our health and future risks as well. So if we're not healthy now and taking care of ourselves now, then what the heck are we going to do when we're older?
Yeah, I totally agree with that point. Because I just working in a nursing home on the side myself, it's just a lot of people are saying, I wish I started my diet journey earlier in my life because it wouldn't affect me as much as it does now. And then you get in these habits when you can keep repeating them and you go over and over again. Oh, well, my food, I always need to have fries every day, or, oh, I need to have this type of soda every day. Just starting your health journey now and getting to the why sooner rather than later will just benefit you in the long term.
Absolutely. Yeah. So pinpointing your why, and it's important to us because that's what's going to keep you going. Now, it's different from goals, like we were saying, because a goal might be, okay, my why is that I want to be healthy and stay healthy for the rest of my life. My goals are something that we can measure. Goals have to be measurable. It can't just be a pinpointed thing. It has to be something that we're working towards and we're monitoring our progress towards. Your goal is not going to be the strong enough thing to keep you going because you can get discouraged. Let's say you have to lose 60 pounds. You might only be 10 pounds in and you might be like, I'm sick of this. I hate doing this. But that why is what's strong enough that's going to keep you going.
No, goals are so important. And the reason why, how you get your goals is because like you said, you have to have that why first. You're never going to get to a goal unless you have the why, because there's no reason for you to make a goal if you don't have that why. Like, I'm not going to make a goal to feed my cat every single day at the same time if I don't even have a cat. Something like small like that. Yeah.
It's a good example though, right? Like, exactly. Why does it matter?
Exactly.
And it comes back to you too, like, is it something when you're setting your goals, is it helping you move towards your why and like reinforcing your why, which is going to help you be motivated towards reaching your goals? Or is it something that's a distraction? And that's something that I've had that conversation with my coach too, where we might have the idea fairy of like, oh, I want to do this too, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. But the idea fairy will rob you of that success of what you're really working towards, what really, really matters to you. So we have to have this laser fine focus, which is why we have our goals. And then we have our why that helps with the motivation piece.
Yeah. And your goals, you have to make sure that your goals, yes, they match your why, but they're also going to match your second why. You don't want to go too broad of a range, like you said, because if you go too broad, that's when you're more likely setting yourself up to fail. You want to make sure you have a very narrow standpoint. It can be, you want it to be longer, not wider. It's going to take a longer period of time, but you don't want to put too much on your plate at first. And that's what sets people up for failure. You just want it to be, it might be a longer journey, but it's going to be more worth it in the long run to get to that second why.
And that's exactly it. And that was really our second bullet point for the way. It's like pinpointing what your why is and having that singular focus to it, and realizing that whatever your goal and your why is that you're working towards, is that it might take a little bit longer. It might be difficult. However, when we work harder and it might take a little bit longer, that means it's going to stick. It's not going to be something where if you are trying to lose weight or whatever it is, that all of a sudden you're going to gain it back overnight. When it's a slow weight loss, it is a good weight loss. And like you and I sat in on a call with you the other night where one of the clients was saying, okay, I want to do these 4 or 5 things this week. And we're like, we got to say, hold on. This is Christmas week. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Let's have 2 to 3 things that we can have this singular focus on that can help us keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, that client was so appreciative because when we narrowed it down, we don't want her thinking about these too many goals on the holiday season. Everyone has to enjoy their holiday. It's time to be relaxed and to enjoy the holiday and not be stressed out about your nutrition, about your goals, about this types of things. So we can always get back to those goals later. We're just focused on the 3 things that are going to maybe build up for more success in those goals we were going to bring back later. Maybe set them a little higher than we originally anticipated, but refocus back to those other goals.
Absolutely. Yeah. And another thing too, it's the lowest hanging fruit. What's the smallest thing that we can do that's going to help yield those biggest results, rather than trying to do everything all at once? And I'm sure that you've heard the phrase too, Sarah, where it's, a jack of all trades is a master of none. We're not trying to do everything because we know that we're not going to get it done. We're not going to fix it.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not going to fix it. And that's a great example. I always think of Jack from The Incredibles of that too, since he was the jack of all trades. Yeah, you can be mediocre at everything, but you want to be the expert at what you're aiming for towards. You can have like, oh, I'm good. I'm okay with my water. I'm okay with my exercise. Well, why don't we focus on one first? And then once you perfected it, then you can go back to another one and then you can perfect that. It's better to do that because you're never going to be perfect at all of them if you try working on all of these goals and all these things at once to get to your big why.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have
Mm-hmm.
said it better. And it's just keep asking yourself too, until it really hits home. Like when I have conversations with people when they're thinking about joining the Nourish with Emily coaching program, I ask them, like, why does this matter? Why now? And really just keep asking yourself, well, why? Like, okay, I want to lose it. Well, why? Like, what does that mean? Okay, well, why? Because I want to be in a smaller size. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean more confidence to you? What does that confidence mean to you in your life? What is that? And digging deeper to find that, pinpoint that why at that point.
Yeah, because like you said, by digging deeper, you realize more about yourself too. Because everyone can say, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. But why do you want to lose 10 pounds? Like you said, is it to have a better body image? Is it to be healthier for your kids? Is it to just be able to run that marathon that you wanted to do? Like, do you want to lose the original why? Why do you want to lose that weight? Why do you want to get your A1C low? Because there's always more whys behind each one. So it's never going to stop. There's always going to be a cause.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And why don't you touch on, Sarah, why having motivation isn't just enough? We can have all the motivation in the world, but I often hear where we kind of lose steam towards the end of the week. So why isn't motivation enough?
So motivation just isn't enough. Just from my personal experience, I've always been on a team sport. I've always played basketball, softball. I did cross country for maybe one fall season in high school, and I hated it because I was on my own. I couldn't really, there was a coach there, but he's not like running with me, giving me pointers on like how I'm running. Whereas basketball and softball, I have teammates there. They can motivate me to be my best, and they're there to pick me up when I fall down. And then I have a coach there telling me what I'm doing wrong, how I can improve, what maybe the reason why I didn't do good at that at bat, or why I might have missed that free throw. It's just a constant having the motivators there. They motivate you because it's really hard to motivate yourself, especially after one small failure. You could just be like, I'm done. I didn't meet my goal for the week. I can't do this anymore. I'm just cut it out completely. Whereas if you have like a team behind you, they'll be like, you're fine. You're okay. Just brush it off. It's just one small bump in the road. You can bounce back from this. And that's what I think is a big motivator, is having other people behind you. It's really hard to motivate yourself, but if you can, coming from myself, I always find myself motivating other people just because I know that's how I get motivated myself. I have a hard time motivating myself. And I know, Emily, you're probably the same way since we played the same two sports together when we were younger.
Absolutely. Where it's like, you need that team behind you. You need someone, and my coach says this to me as well. He's up in the helicopter. That's where you and I are, Sarah, with our clients. We're up in the helicopter. We can see where you're going. We can see what obstacles you're going to overcome and what's coming down the pipeline. And you're down in the trenches. You need that team and that support around you to help make sure that you can be successful and that you have the tools that you need. We can do it on our own, but is it going to stick? Probably not. Are we going to lose steam? Absolutely. We need that as accountability and support. And when you have a team behind you like us, as your registered dietitians, and even other women that are in the same spot that you are, it's motivating, and we bring each other up together. You need that guidance and you need that accountability and support, because sometimes we just don't have enough of it inside of us. And that's no one's problem. That's someone's fault. We just need a little bit of help there too.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you in everything you said. And that goes back to one of my clients that I had on a call this week. She said, normally I just lose steam at this point. She was upset because she didn't meet one of her goals. And she said this is normally the time where she relapses, and like after starting a new diet, this is when she relapses and goes back to her own ways. But Emily and I were there to be like, no, it's okay. We're going to bounce back from this. It's just one small bump. And look at where you were in the past. And people fail to forget sometimes, like, they've improved so much over time. You can't just lose steam now. And having that external motivator is such a help. And it relieves the burden off of you. And it also enhances your ability to go forward.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. So just to kind of like recap, wanting to pinpoint your goals versus your why, making sure that they're separate and that your why is strong enough to help as far as with motivating you to get started. You know, making sure that your why and you're digging deep about it as well to make sure that's something that will stick with you and keep you motivated. And then having that support to keep that motivation high and to keep those wins coming and to keep that success coming and that guidance that you need, because we can't do it alone. We really, really can't.
No, myself included. This is why I have Emily there as the support for me, just because she helps me out too. She's my motivator, my supporter as well. Just watching how great she does with all of her clients. It's such an inspiration for me. And it also is my motivator to, okay, I know I can help these people just as much as she can.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have a team that I built around me to help me keep going, to help deliver to you, the listener, the watcher here, to get more out of it. And then also too, I have my coach that I pay to work with to help me motivate and be up in that helicopter telling me where I have to go and what's next, and me down working in the trenches and help to bring all of you with me.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better, Em.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions afterwards, please leave them down in the comments below. We'll be doing more of these, probably trying to make it like a weekly thing. We'll look at our schedule and see if we can get one worked out for next week. But thank you so much. Anything else, Sarah?
Thank you for bearing with us. I promise there won't be as many times as difficult for you.
I think we figured out the secret sauce for next time.
Exactly. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. We appreciate
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. And I will drop, if you're interested in working with either of us, I will drop the application too for the down in the bio or the comments below, so you can apply to work with us. We do have spots for the 2022 year open up and ready to go, and we are ready to start working with you. Woohoo!
Yes,
All right. All right. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Thank you so much. See you, Sarah.
Bye,